Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. So last time we have explained the biological method of study, that how a biological problem they are studied by the biologists, and there are some steps, and we have explained each step in very detail. Today we are going to explain the same method but with the help of an example. So this is example number 1 for biological method of study. The first step, that is recognition of the problem. So here is the problem, that what is the cause of malaria. So how the biologists found the solution for this problem. So the next step, that is observation, and observation is initial information about the problem, that is called observation. So in this case, the observation, the people and physician of the past time, almost 2000 years ago, had some observation about malaria, and these observations are that they observed that malarial patient have recurrent attack of chill, cold and fever again and again. The next observation was that this disease is more common in people who lived in low marshy area. So the people that are living in such a kind of area, they have this malaria disease was more common. The next date time, though malaria that was a very lethal and uncontrollable disease, so no volunteer was available, but some volunteer drink water of marshes and they did not suffer from the malaria. So this was the next observation. This malaria, this is actually the combination of two Italian words, mala, that means bed, and area, that means air. So the people were thinking that the disease is caused by if some bad air is taken in, so they can cause malaria. So that was also an observation of the past time peoples. So these were the observation in this case. But another biologist, his name was Louis Ron, and in 1878 this French army physician took a small blood from the malarial patient, and he examined under the microscope that blood, and he found that there are tiny, a very minute creature in the blood of malarial patient. Later on, that microscopic organism was given name Plasmodium. For this observation, later on Louis got a Nobel Prize for this discovery. So this was the some of the past observation and some of the 1878 observation of the Louis. So the next step, that is hypothesis. That hypothesis, it is a tentative possible answer to the problem, and it is concluded from the observation. And hypothesis, that last time we have discussed, it may be true or it may be false. So the hypothesis in this case was made that Plasmodium is the cause of malaria. So in this case, the hypothesis, Plasmodium is the cause of malaria. The next step, that is deduction. You know that deduction, these are the logical consequences. They are drawn from the hypothesis and the observation, and it involved the use of if and then. So in this case, the deduction was made, and the deduction was if the plasmodium is the cause of malaria, then all malarial patients should have plasmodium in their blood. So this was the deduction. The next step that is experiment. So in this case, an experiment was designed and two groups were made. One was experimental group and another was control group. In experimental group, the 100 malarial patient blood was examined under microscope, while in the control group, the blood of 100 healthy person was also examined under the microscope. Now the next step that is a result and conclusion. So it was observed that all malarial patient, the 100 malarial patient, in all in their blood plasmodium was found, while in the all healthy person blood there was no plasmodium. So that was the result. At the end, it was concluded that the plasmodium is the cause of malaria, and the hypothesis was proved that it is true that plasmodium is the cause of malaria. So this was lecture, sorry, it was written lecture number 1, but this was lecture number 2 of unit number 2. Inshallah, in the next lecture we will explain the same biological method of study with another example. So thank you very much.